I describe the project as a deeply experiential home. To me, every house should reflect the character and kind of living pattern of the client, and I believe that visitors will appreciate that the house actually reflects this family's history on the site and their kind of hope for the future with their growing family. I'm Michael Bielik, co-founder of SJB, and I worked as project design director on this project. The project started with a phone call from the client asking me my opinion as to whether he should consider buying a site to the north of the existing home, which we refurbished and turned into a single family home 19 years ago. So the vision was very much about how do we allow an existing house, which now had two neighbouring properties, how do we allow that house to have a memory of the history of the family's involvement and extend to provide a new era for the family going forward.
The house has gone through 2 major renovations, so how do we make the house have continuity? I guess it's really about successfully using the materials and the design details so that they really do feel part of the same house. I'm Andrew Parr. I was the interior designer on this project, right from the inception, right through the construction and right through to the final finishing of furniture, etc. There is a consistency in the materiality, as in the level of polish, the level of mattness, the texture of timbers, flat timbers against sort of dark stained timbers, versus pops of colour that add energy where required.
One arrives at the house as a pedestrian or as approaching by a vehicle, and the 2 frontages to 2 different cul-de-sacs means we're able to separate those 2 approaches to the house. You arrive at the house in a gallery space, which is filled with beautiful large-scale artwork. Travel through that gallery brings you to the kind of informal living area, which incorporates the kitchen, the eating room, and a sunken family room, which is the heart and soul of the house for this young family. You then pass through into the original house and the central staircase, which takes you to the first floor where the bedroom zones are still retained and extended, particularly to the north for the master bedroom. Every room has significant large-scale glass and sliding door access to the courtyard in the centre of the site. This was a primary consideration because the previous original house did not have great access to north or western sunlight. So there's a large effort to integrate and connect the indoor spaces to the exterior landscape courtyard.
The emotions I tried to create in the key living spaces, firstly was in the larger formal entertainment room, was this is really quite a serene room, I guess. It's got a reflecting pond, it's got a large vista of the garden. And there's a really beautiful little magic jewel of a cocktail bar that comes alive at night. The other living spaces change quite dramatically from this. The introduction of a cobalt blue carpet and a richer sort of palette with furnishings creates a special experience for the sunken lounge. It's a really beautiful space to sit in, where you are submerged. You're really at eye level with the lawn and the vegetation. So it really has a unique and very special quality to it. When we go through into the cabana or the pool pavilion, that has its own different feel again. So there's a living space in there that's got a lot of decoration and books, etc. All the 3 key living rooms have their own personalities. And when you've got a house of this scale, I guess you need a reason to go to the different spaces.
Our largest contribution to sustainability is obviously the decision to retain the existing brick structures on the site. Beyond that, the orientation The kind of simple but appropriate orientation of all the rooms means that light is introduced into the house in various ways to ensure the appreciation of the garden is always maintained. We have had a 20-year involvement in this site and with the client. We're contemporary architects. We love timeless design. We love quality. We appreciate the importance of detail. But beyond everything else, the house has to work as a functional space for the family. And when I revisit the house now, I see the growing family using the house in ways that reflect their lifestyle. And it's a very comforting feeling to come back and see how the family is really enjoying living in this new home.